Alright, 2014 Dodge Grand Caravan. It's got the 3.6 Pentastar. A few days ago I noticed some oil spots on the driveway, and I figured that can only mean one thing: the famous oil filter housing. So sure enough, took a look under the hood, and I could see some oil pooling in the valley down here, and then it kind of runs down the transmission. You can kind of see it right here. So I got the Dorman aluminum housing. This comes with all the O-rings, comes with all the hardware. There's an oil filter in this box, and the part number is 926959. So I think what happens over time is that plastic housing kind of warps, and it's been super cold here the last couple weeks, so I think that's kind of when these tend to leak more. This van's got 90,000 on it. So it's, it's 12 years old, so I'm surprised I made it this long. And as long as we're getting the intake off, we might as well do a spark plug change while we're at it, since we're right there. So we got a variety of Torx bits here. We'll use that on this job. So yeah, let's get started. First things first, we'll get the coolant drained out. I'm going to try to reuse this coolant because I just did a thermostat about a year ago. Actually, that's a Dorman upgrade too. It's aluminum housing there. So yeah, I'm gonna try to reuse the coolant, so get that drained out. All right, we got the coolant draining, so now we'll go ahead and work on this upper intake. So there's just various hoses, and there's some brackets. I see one back here. There's a couple up front here. Take this tube off, and we'll start chipping away at this. Alright, here's where I'm at. This piece here, there's a little push pin that goes right here, so just pull that out, and then you can basically just wiggle this out of here. And then as far as these electrical connectors, this little red tab here, if you just push this back this way, then you can push this tab down and pull it out. Got these 8mm loose here. Got these two nuts in the front loose. Got these two nuts in the back. There's one right there and another one right here. So then you can pull this gray piece off that holds the wiring, and this is a 13mm right here, this nut, so that'll hold this bracket on, so we'll take that off. And then I think there's a couple more. I think you got to take these brackets off here, so I'll go ahead and do that. All right, so got the upper intake off. So here's those two nuts back here. And I did not have to take off these front brackets here, which is kind of nice because they look like a pain to get to. Once you have this back bracket, this one, there's just that 13mm. Actually came out like this, but that's all right. Once this bracket's loose, you just kind of, pull the intake back, and then it lifts right off. And looks like a mouse has been in here at some point, chewing on that. That's always great. Good thing he didn't chew any wires. So I don't think this is going back in. Probably some noise dampener, but that just invites rodents, so I don't think I'm putting that back. So now we're left with the lower intake. Take a gander at these valves. They're nice and clean because this is not direct injected. So you can see there's no buildup on the back side of those valves, so that's kind of cool. Direct injected engines, they tend to build up a ton of carbon on the valves. I think I'm gonna put some tape over this intake and blow this crud out of here. And I'm gonna go ahead and do spark plugs now, and then I'll finish taking off this lower intake. Alright, got all the spark plugs changed out. The originals were Champions, and they're definitely due for a changing. So I'd highly recommend to do that if you're taking on this job. One of my plastic locking clips broke on me, so I just use a zip tie just to keep this on there so it doesn't walk off and cause a misfire. But you know, age and heat, that'll do it to the plastic. It's kind of brittle, but should be good. All right, let's start on this lower intake. All right, so for these fuel injector connectors, pull up on this red piece, and then you can push on this black piece right there. Push that in and then pull it up. All right, all the fuel injectors are disconnected. I'm not gonna disconnect this fuel line. So like these 4 bolts, just leave them in because that's what holds the fuel rails on. I'm just gonna set this off to the side. I don't wanna disconnect that. So we got some 8mm bolts here. So we'll go ahead and get all those out. Alright, so there it is. You can kind of see some oil down there in the valley. We'll have to clean up that surface there where the O-rings go. Alright, this is an E8 socket. Okay, there is 5 bolts. I did not see this one up here. And then I got these 2 connectors out. So the only thing left is this coolant line right here. So I should be able to lift this out of here. There we go. Oh yeah, look at all the oily goodness in there. Okay, I gotta get this coolant line off. Okay, I don't know if I'll replace this coolant line. Maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. But at this point, we need to clean everything up. Make sure you clean up all this surface real good. And be extra careful that nothing drops in your intake ports, because that would not be a good thing. Alright, got this area cleaned up. There's a bunch of oil in there. What's left isn't really going to cause a problem. There's very little. And then these mating surfaces, I got that cleaned up. And I got these 2 sensors pulled out of the old one, and they're in the new one here. And then I got the O-rings installed, top and bottom. And there's actually a blue one or a black one for this one. So this black one is for 2011 to 2021. And then there's a blue one they put in the kit here, and that is for 2022 on up. So up next, we'll put this oil cooler on, and these bolts get tightened down to 9 foot-pounds. All right, so the new housing is ready to install. I just noticed made in USA. So just make sure these don't fall off when you're putting it in. And you want to make sure this gets seated, you know, probably, well, this is going to be first, so. Just like that. All right, now we'll go ahead and get these bolts in. All right, so these are 9 foot-pounds as well. And the pattern is this one first. And then this one. And then this one. And this is the last one. And I'll just go over it one more time just to make sure. All right, new housing's fully installed. I did end up putting a new 5/8 heater hose right here. It's just one of those things, while you're in there, you might as well do it. I did use a little bit of thread sealant on these two sensors here. So now we'll work on getting the lower intake back on. Okay, we got the new O-rings installed. You can see right here. Okay, got the fuel injectors plugged back in. Now we need to tighten the bolts for the lower intake, and these are 8.8 foot-pounds. So the torque sequence for this, so this is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, and then number 8. Time for the upper intake, and I did not remove these two brackets here. I've seen a few videos where guys take these out, and you don't really need to. So when you put this back on, you just got to make sure these studs go in first. Just like that. All right, for the upper intake, it is 7.4 foot-pounds. So the sequence for this is number 1 right there. And this is number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, and number 7. All right, got everything plugged back in. I wish I had some mass airflow sensor cleaner, because I could have cleaned this, but I'll have to pick some up. This just turns to the left, and you can take it out and clean it. And the kit did come with a new oil filter, but I'm gonna stick with the OE M0349. So we'll go ahead and put that in. Okay, time to put the antifreeze back in. I took out the bleed screw right here. I got a comment today actually, oh, you're just supposed to crack it. Well, okay. So we'll get the antifreeze back in, and then we'll do an oil change for the last step. All right, coolant's topped off and got the oil changed, and you're gonna want to watch the overflow tank the next couple days. You know, if it goes down, add some, because I'm sure there's a little bit of air in the system. But we're gonna go ahead and crank it up and see what happens. Okay, that sounded good. Most of you probably have that cover on. I keep it right there. All that does is trap heat and attract rodents, so I just leave it off. But thanks for following along. I will put links in the description for a lot of the stuff I use today, so go ahead and check that out. All right, that'll do it. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.